Bonsoir, everybody! It is Alex, Le Boogeyman here, Title Boxing Club in Pittsford, with your focus point. This week, our summer tour is going to take us on a quick little jaunt over to France, where the Olympics are being held right now. One of the Olympic events that actually originated in France is fencing. So this week, we're actually going to incorporate some fencing into our boxing. What the heck, you say? Well, I'll tell you. Most common attack in fencing is the lunge. The lunge, you're pushing off your back foot, you're driving forward, you're sticking your foil right into your opponent. Of course, we have something similar to that with the jab in boxing. We can throw a fencing jab. We've seen it in boxing, we've seen it in other combat sports. Bruce Lee, very famous for it. Georges St. Pierre, French-Canadian, famous for it. And we're gonna be doing it this week. So just like the lunge in fencing, we're going to push off the back foot. That's the most important thing first. We have to stand outside of range, or maybe we're in range and we just want to drive forward. We're pushing off the back foot and we're launching ourselves into our opponent. You're turning your shoulders, extending your lead hand for the jab. The skeletal alignment becomes more important than ever because we want to capture that momentum that we have driving in off our back foot. But of course, it's not a sword, it's not a foil, it is a punch. So you've also got to time it so we get that snap on the end of it, so that it snaps when it reaches the target and snaps back. That's gonna give us a little extra power, a little extra sting, and help us set things up. Now, here are a few things you wanna keep in mind when you're doing these fencing jabs. Number one, it is not a step, it is a burst forward. We are driving up the back foot, launching ourselves forward, pushing off the ground. It's an explosive, athletic, quick move. You wanna strike like a cobra. You don't want to go up in the air though, so that's another thing to watch out for. You don't want to jump up high. No, you don't want to do that. You want to stay pretty low. Stay low and athletic, keep that bend in the knees. Now make sure too that both feet are moving. You don't just want to do this, and you certainly don't want to just stand there. That's not a fencing jab at all. So I'm going to push up the back foot. My lead foot is going to come forward. My rear foot is going to move a little bit and catch up. I'm not going to get all stretched out like this. Sometimes you see that in fencing. You don't want to do it in boxing. I want to make sure that my right foot is catching up to bring me back to the fighting stance. Now I don't want to do the opposite either, where I'm throwing it and then both my feet are, you can see them, are together. That's not a good position to be in. I always want that good fighting stance when I leap in, and even when I leap out, or even if I stay there, I want to stay in that fighting stance. Then also too, you don't want to lead with your head. You don't want to come forward and then throw the punch. That's too late. Your head will be in range. You'll get hit before you land the punch. So I start the punch early, get that rotation early so that I reach full extension by the time I get into range. If I'm coming in and my arm is bent like this, if you can see it, that's no good. That's no good. You're not losing power, and I got in too close. So you want to make sure you start it. Point the shoulder at the target early, get in there. And of course, one thing that always helps is you leap in and throw, you say, on guard! Well, maybe not that part, maybe not, but maybe so, who knows? It might help, it certainly can't hurt. That's what we're gonna work on this week. We're gonna do a little fencing jab, leaping forward. Oh, maybe we get into some other fencing stuff, maybe like a parry, or like a beat lunge. Who knows, the world is our oyster, everybody, because that, my friends, is how you do it. Vive la France!